Hello and welcome to CTV News Across Canada for Thursday, October 30th. We've got the top local stories from coast to coast. Stories that affect you and the country. Thanks for joining us.
Videos like this one from Jamaica are being sent to concerned family members living here in Simcoe County. People are worried about family and friends following the devastating hurricane.
There's power outage still, so I haven't heard from my brother since yesterday.
Geraldine Duhaney is a counselor in Bradford. She has dozens of loved ones in Jamaica. So far, she's heard from some of them who are reporting to be safe, but she's still anxiously waiting for an update on everyone else.
It's very sad. This morning, I actually saw a video with one of the hospital in Jamaica, in South Lamar, and I'm telling you, the rooftop, everything was gone, and I was very sad.
Hurricane Melissa caused widespread damage across the small country. Organizations preparing to send much-needed assistance in the coming days. For the many family members still trying to reach loved ones, it's been an emotional 24 hours.
Still some anxious hours because I still haven't heard from one set of family in Westmoreland, and I know that it's one of the areas that
power outages and heavy structural damage is making communication difficult for many. Now that the storm has passed through Jamaica, many people are looking for focus on the damage and cleanup to follow.
The concern is a lot of people are going to be displaced. Property, passports, all of those stuff that people need to rebuild and reapply, and all of those cost a lot of money. Schools have been destroyed. Some hospitals in the area, the entire roof is gone. Like an entire town where I grew up as a child from about age 1 to 7. Just destroyed.
Now, if anyone has any loved ones in Jamaica or wants to help out in any way, they are encouraged to reach out to the Canadian Jamaican Association or the Jamaican Consulate in Toronto. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
The competition is fierce. This is a global market for this type of expertise.
Dr. Raja Hatem is an interventional cardiologist. At international conferences, he says specialists from Quebec are often approached by recruiters, and this bill could push many to leave the province.
I always prided myself when I went internationally at telling people, listen, you might criticize public healthcare system, but we offer the best quality care as you do in Texas, as you do in San Francisco, as you do in New York, but we offer it for free for everybody.
That's something Dr. Isabelle Gaston is proud of too, but she can only work part-time as a family physician, covering 400 patients, many of whom have complex needs.
For my patient, it's very important for me because I know I make a big difference. It's maybe not a statistical difference in the ocean of all the doctors, but you know, nobody is a number when you're treating a health problem.
She continues to suffer from PTSD following the murder of her children by Guy Turcotte. By not taking on more patients, she says her pay drops from $99 an hour to $26 an hour under the new salary structure.
2,700 doctors that are supposedly don't work enough. What do you know about them? Are they 72 years? Are they like me, sick? Are they young mothers?
So it's no wonder provinces like Ontario and New Brunswick in need of bilingual doctors are turning to Quebec. Dr. Hatem says some American hospitals offer specialists tempting salaries, around $1.5 million per year, but adds the working conditions are even more enticing.
They give you the staff to be able to perform at your best level, to help as many patients as you can, and most importantly, they give you the tools to be able to pursue research and innovation. And this is the thing that we're losing in Quebec.
He's warning Quebec could soon end up with fewer doctors and lower quality care. Angela McKenzie, CTV News.
When I would come for a drink, this is always the table that we sat at.
The investigation into the disappearance of Robert Sykes began nearly 3 weeks ago, when police first asked for help finding the 49-year-old when he was reported missing.
We hung out all the time. He loved my kids. We'd go out and have coffee. We'd sit down and talk. I'd let him cry on my shoulder.
Ontario Provincial Police say remains were found in a wooded area just west of Caledonia near Highway 6 on October 16th. A post-mortem confirmed the remains belonged to Sykes. He was last seen on Head Street South in Simcoe on October 4th.
Rob texted me the Saturday before all this happened and asked me to hang out I was with my kids and I told him I couldn't hang out at that time. All he kept texting me was, hey, I love you, bro, I love you, bro. All I did was cry all day, and like I couldn't do it. I was rough shape.
Police have now classified his death as a homicide and have linked it to another homicide earlier this month. On October 12th, a 45-year-old man was charged with second-degree murder in the death of 71-year-old Barbara Morgan, also from Simcoe.
I seen a post on Facebook of something going on, and I looked at the house and I'm like, hey, I know that house. And I said to the officers, I'm like, is something going on here? And they said, yeah, there's a homicide going on. And I said, wow, my buddy lives here.
Police believe Sykes' disappearance was likely connected to the death of Morgan. Darren Johnston, who was close friends with Sykes, says Sykes was living with Morgan at the time of the incident.
He used to call her mom because she was always there to help him out. At Christmas time, she always did all kinds of baking. And every Christmas, Rob would bring in baked goods for the staff in here at Boston Pizza.
At the Boston Pizza where Sykes worked for years, co-workers are grieving the man they call family.
I really miss him, and like I said, I wish I could have maybe been there for him that day just to know what's going on, because now it's just in my brain.
Police say they're continuing to search for answers, and they're urging anyone with information to come forward. Meantime, Johnson says the crew at the restaurant are hopeful someone will help bring closure for Sykes' family and friends.
Maybe I could have helped this guy. Maybe I could have done something to stop whatever happened. So it breaks my heart.
Hannah Schmidt, CTV News.
As they left the courtroom in Halifax today, family and friends of Naricho Clayton are relieved.
Words can't explain how I feel, the loss of my son. But I know he's with me each and every day. And I have his son. He looks just like him. I love him.
Clayton was gunned down in a car on Gottingen Street in Halifax in 2016. Another man, Ricardo Winder, was wounded but survived. Tyrell Deschamps was arrested in December 2017 and charged with second-degree murder and attempted murder. Rescheduled for 2022, the trial was again delayed when Deschamps fired his lawyer. Then, last month, as the case was finally ready to move forward, Deschamps surprisingly pleaded guilty to both charges.
Almost 10 years, and now we're just now receiving a verdict. It's reopened a lot of wounds for us, re-traumatized us a lot.
Clayton's sister, Natavia Gray, read a victim impact statement to the court written by the family.
Today has been a very heavy day for me and my family. Today is the day that we receive some sort of justice for our brother Naricho.
Deschamps listened quietly via video conference from a prison in Quebec, where he's already serving a life sentence for the first-degree murder of former basketball star Tyler Richards, who he killed 2 days before the Clayton and Winder shooting. First-degree murder carries an automatic life sentence with no chance of parole for 25 years.
Right now, separation from society, protecting public is of paramount importance when someone shows that level of dangerousness.
In his parole ineligibility ruling, the judge accepted the joint recommendation of the Crown and the defense of 12 years for each charge to be served concurrently. When asked if he had any comment, Deschamps did apologize for the hurt he caused Clayton's family. Justice Campbell commented on Eleanor Gray's victim impact statement, saying it didn't include hatred or call for vengeance, adding he hoped Tyrell Deschamps learned something from what he heard. Jonathan McGinnis, CTV News, Halifax.
Members of the Niagara Police Emergency Task Unit entered this Port Colborne home around 6:30 this morning. They were searching for 27-year-old Brady Neff, who investigators described as armed and dangerous. He is wanted in connection with a weapons incident that is believed to have occurred at another home in this same neighborhood.
They just said, Brady, you're under arrest. 193 Mitchell Street, come out. They've been doing that for a while.
Well, I live up there, so I heard, I seen all these cop cars and these cars down here.
CTV News obtained this cell phone video from a neighbor. It shows a small child wrapped in a blanket and a woman being safely taken out of the house by police. It's believed the home is divided into two separate apartments. There was no sign of the wanted man. And while this was going on, Niagara police advised residents to stay inside and keep their doors locked. Several schools in the area were also placed in hold and secure.
It's very overwhelming, a lot of anxiety, and I just hope that we're able to put this back together and able to live in peace again.
The tactical unit eventually left the home on Mitchell Street, but it has been wrapped with police tape. Brady Neff is known to police. In a release issued last February, Niagara police say he was charged with trafficking fentanyl in connection with the overdose of a 27-year-old man in Welland. This man who showed up at the scene this morning says Neff was also training to be a mixed martial arts fighter.
Martial arts fighting, like kickboxing, stuff like that, competitions, that he was a really good kid.
Now, this all began around 6 o'clock this morning, one street over. That's where police found the body of a man. That led them to the house behind me searching for this Brady Neff. And again, the update is at 3 o'clock this afternoon, Neff was arrested and he is in custody. He has a bail hearing in St. Catharines tomorrow. Reporting live, I'm John Muswell.
In the 1990s, Jason Timothy Davidson was a young man living in southwestern Ontario. Now, nearly 3 decades later, the 52-year-old has been arrested in BC, where he currently resides, accused in a series of violent sexual assaults that took place over 5 months in 1997 around Sarnia and Chatham, Ontario.
I can tell you that he was not part of the investigation until we identified him through investigative techniques.
According to Ontario Provincial Police, on March 26, 1997, a female youth was abducted in Sarnia, taken to neighboring Sombre Township, and sexually assaulted. On May 23rd, a female youth was picked up in Thamesville, part of what was then Kent County. She was taken to a wooded area and sexually assaulted. On June 7th, an adult female was picked up in Sarnia, taken to a remote area nearby, and sexually assaulted. Then on August 20th, a female youth was picked up in Chatham, taken to Dover Township in Kent County, and sexually assaulted. At the time, all 4 victims came forward to police.
For 28 years, our teams have worked extremely hard to identify the accused by re-examining evidence, following up on more than 450 tips.
Police say over the years, 2 of the cases were linked using DNA analysis. Then in January of 2024, with advancements in DNA technology, all 4 assaults were connected to the same individual.
That was the turning point. From there, our team utilized investigative genetic genealogy.
This past Sunday, Davidson was arrested in Campbell River, BC, before being transferred back to Ontario.
After 28 long years of enduring, the suffering that they've had to go through, I can't even begin to imagine. But being able to tell them that we got him was a very big moment.
Davidson now facing a slew of charges related to sexual assault and kidnapping. This past June, Ontario's Information and Privacy Commissioner released guardrails for police use of investigative genetic genealogy. The IPC saying while it is a powerful tool for solving serious crimes, there are concerns regarding privacy and human rights.
The police do work with companies in order to be able to access information that is voluntarily and consent has been provided by the people signing up for individual companies.
Davidson was scheduled to appear in a Chatham, Ontario court Wednesday. Brian Bicknell, CTV News.
52-year-old Scott Devlin is now wanted on a Canada-wide warrant for second-degree murder and indignity to a dead body. He's the suspect in a murder investigation that began on June 19th in an apartment building in the 700 block of Pine Street. Devlin was reported missing just 1 day prior. CTV News learned from neighbors that Devlin lived on the same floor as the 30-year-old victim. At the time, police wouldn't link the 2 incidents.
There has to be information that ties somebody to an investigation. And obviously that took quite some time, but like I mentioned, our investigators worked incredibly hard to find anything that they could to learn what took place that day in June, and recently discovered some information that ties 52-year-old Scott Devlin to that, and again, now wanted in connection with the homicide.
Devlin is described as 5 feet 10 inches tall with a thin build and blonde hair. The 52-year-old also has the tattoos Sinner and Saint on his forearms.
That might help trigger somebody's memory if they've seen some unique tattoos or markings that somebody may have when we release those details. So again, anybody has the information, anybody has seen Scott Devlin, please contact police immediately.
Scott Devlin was last seen on June 17th after taking a flight from Sault Ste. Marie to Toronto's Billy Bishop Airport. Police officials say that the murder suspect may still be somewhere in the Toronto area.
We've been in connection with our partner agencies in the Greater Toronto area, so we're hoping to spread the awareness as far as we can so that to help generate some more tips.
Anyone with information on Devlin's whereabouts can contact Sioux Police or Crime Stoppers. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Ottawa's first goal in its franchise's history. In front of a sold-out crowd of more than 8,000 people.
Haley's Camaro!
A scene that might not be seen again if the Lansdowne 2.0 plan gets approved, at least not with this many cheering.
The experience at a PWHL game is incredible. It's electric.
And that worries season ticket holder Katrina O'Neill.
That threatens the potential for PWHL to go elsewhere with their market.
The Professional Women's Hockey League says it would consider leaving if the plan goes ahead with a much smaller arena.
We have to consider what is best for the PWHL and the Ottawa Charge, and I don't know what that is today.
The 58-year-old arena currently has about 9,500 seats. The proposed plan includes an arena with 5,850 seats and new north side stands paid for by taxpayers.
Every conversation was, we'll talk about capacity, and they never brought us to the table to talk about capacity. So whether they ignored us, whether they didn't care, I don't know.
The city warning any changes to the current plan would add up to $100 million in costs and delay the project 2 to 3 years. Another franchise who plays here at Lansdowne, whose future is uncertain, are the Ottawa Redblacks. They're only guaranteed to play here until 2032. But Lansdowne 2.0 would extend the partnership between Ottawa Sports and Entertainment Group and the city to 2075.
I imagine there will be questions about the length of commitment, and I hope that the owners of the Redblacks and the 67s are prepared to make a longer commitment to Ottawa than just 2032 if we're to proceed with this plan.
The debate continues with questions about who will play at Lansdowne and how many will be cheering.
We love Ottawa. This is where we want to be. We love being at Lansdowne. It's been such an amazing place for our team to launch. So we want to find a solution.
And we just heard from CFL Commissioner just moments ago. He was speaking at committee. He said the CFL believes the stadium needs a refresh and supports Lansdowne 2.0. He also says he feels strongly about Ottawa's place in the league and called our city an ideal location for future Grey Cup championships.
The granddaughter of 86-year-old Alzheimer's patient William Cohn says her grandfather wandered away from a Saskatoon care home on October 11th, unnoticed by staff. He walked for 8 blocks before falling and died 9 days later of complications from a broken hip.
I don't know that we've really even had time to grieve properly just because of how it happened. I think with all the shock and anger and everything else, I don't know that we've really had time to stop and properly grieve.
Now, Crone's family is calling for a full investigation and formal apology from the Saskatchewan Health Authority. Preston Special Care Home is a government-run facility, which Crone moved into only 36 hours before his injury. Smith says her grandfather had a history of wandering, which the facility was made aware of.
My grandma just couldn't do it on her own anymore. As the family members, we helped as much as we could, but it was just becoming too much. And so we put him in the care of the Saskatchewan Health Authority, thinking that that was the right move, and it blew our lives up.
Following session on Wednesday, MLA Lori Carr addressed the topic, saying the SHA will be conducting an investigation.
Well, I mean, the SHA is the one that's conducting the inquiry on it because it's been deemed a critical incident, and that's the process that takes place. But of course, from whatever comes out of that, if any corrective action needs to be made, absolutely has to be made because this is unacceptable.
In a statement, the SHA says it cannot comment on specific cases due to patient confidentiality legislation, but said, quote, The review process will include obtaining family perspectives, a post-analysis disclosure to the family, which includes facts and actions taken or to be taken, and actions to be considered to improve care delivery moving forward.
All we want is, we just want more safeguards for our family members. We don't want this to keep happening. The more I talk about it, the more people reach out about their family members wandering out or passing away from, easily treatable things in care homes that should have been caught.
The health authority says it extends its deepest condolences to the family, and Smith says her family is hopeful that some changes might come from her grandfather's death, and they are considering filing a complaint with Saskatoon Police. Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Trick or treat.
Wait till they open. Now say it.
Trick or treat.
It's a trick-or-treat trial run.
Can you say thank you?
These kids are getting a feel for what to expect when they go door-to-door Halloween night.
Halloween is hard for any child with any kind of neurodiversity. It's unpredictable, it's unexpected, it's scary. Lots of our kids have anxiety.
For kids with neurodiverse issues, Halloween can be more trick than treat.
Sensory issues are also all over the place. Loud, scary noises, scratchy costumes, lots of lights.
Every year, Children's Autism Services holds a practice session. The organization's hallways mimic front doors in a neighborhood. Children learn how to approach front doors and properly ask for candy.
It gets them ready. It gets them reminded of what needs to happen when you enter somewhat of a stranger's door, that we have to knock. We can't just walk in, because that's what happened.
Parents say this kind of support helps them navigate the situation more easily.
No, absolutely. It gives a parent a lot of confidence in a situation like this to send your child out at night with this training.
Parents and advocates are asking for some grace from homeowners, asking people to take it easy on a child if they get overwhelmed on their doorstep.
Just to be mindful and to be supportive of some of the kids that may not be able to say trick or treat, or some of the kids that may be a little hesitant and a little nervous and anxious about it. Just to be aware and be understanding and patient.
Giving these kids an upper hand in handling Halloween on their terms. Naranisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
A shadow remains over the Regina Police Service the day following the termination of its chief.
Going forward, we're looking forward. We're looking forward for the police service.
Now, former Chief Farouk Sheikh was dismissed by the Board of Police Commissioners Tuesday following a Public Complaints Commission investigation into misconduct, which was substantiated. A complaint made by a former police board member. Now, in a statement made through their lawyer, the complainant alleging a lack of due process in asking for their resignation from the board, which happened prior to the complaints which prompted the investigation. Mayor Bashinsky not commenting as to why the complainant was asked to resign.
I would just say that the process was followed in terms of how any resignation would go. So, we feel that it was appropriate the way the process played out.
According to the PCC investigation, the complainant and chief engaged in inappropriate private communications over the course of several months. Those communications kept from others on the board and the police service, with some occurring during a private session in which Sheikh was excused from. Now, the chief also asking the complainant to delete some of the texts they exchanged after the discovery of the messages became a risk.
This board takes these complaints very seriously.
Acting Chief Laura Lee Davies says there is a collective relief at the service now that the investigation has a resolution.
One person's actions don't reflect on the service as a whole, and so we just need to ensure that we're doing the hard work that is needed by the community.
As the RPS looks to rebuild trust with residents.
I hope that the public believes that we won't stand up for that type of behavior, and that when it is detected, that we'll make sure that the proper steps are taken to ensure public trust.
Now, while the hunt for Sheikh's replacement remains in its very early stages, Davies says she remains committed to the service and will wait to see how things unfold. Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.